What if the very things kids with ADHD get criticized for are actually their greatest strengths? I'm going to show you why kids with ADHD have very powerful superpowers and why the world needs them now more than ever. When people hear the term ADHD, they often think of the hyperactivity, the inattentiveness, the impulsivity, terms that carry a very negative tone. Parents are often told that their child is too unfocused, too distracted, way too hard to handle. But what if I told you that kids with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder had some of the most incredible strengths that I've seen in my 2 decades of being a child psychologist? The same brain wiring that may make it hard for them to sit still in class is what can also make them incredible leaders, creative thinkers, and artists. ADHD is not just a list of challenges. It's a different and unique way of interacting with the world that comes with its own set of unique advantages, especially when seen and supported. So today we're going to flip the script. We're going to talk about and celebrate 3 superpowers that ADHD kids have because of their ADHD and not in spite of it. Number 1 is limitless energy and enthusiasm. Kids with ADHD can seem to have just boundless energy. And while this can be overwhelming in certain settings, like in the classroom, fidgeting in class, difficulty sitting still, this can become a huge asset, a huge advantage for them when environments where activity and energy and enthusiasm and passion are what's needed. Studies have shown that kids with ADHD often excel in activities that require a high level of movement or quick thinking or dynamic problem solving. So you would see this in different sports or the performing arts, different activities that require a lot of movement-based learning. And this gives kids with ADHD the ability to keep going, to not give up, to persevere when other folks would easily tire out and have to give up. And their ability to keep going when other people tire out makes them natural leaders in high level, high energy activities. And I want to give you an example. And I realize this isn't a kid, but this is from my own personal experience, to where I remember in graduate school, one of my friends wanted to make an ultimate frisbee activity for everyone to come and join. And he was just so full of energy that his enthusiasm was infectious. It got everybody excited about it. When it was time to go out into the field, everybody was jazzed up. And let me tell you, this guy was unbelievable. And I know it's just ultimate frisbee, but I remember distinctly, I don't know why this is burned into my mind, but I remember more than one time the frisbee would go and he would jump up like a gazelle and pick up this thing from midair and in one swoop, swing it like that. It was just amazing to watch. It was so inspiring that even though when I was getting tired because of running back and forth and catching the frisbee and keeping an eye on everyone, that kept me going. He kept me going. That was his superpower. Number 2 is creative or out of the box thinking. Kids with ADHD often don't think in straight lines. They have colorful explosions of ideas. Their brains are wired for divergent thinking. And what this means is that they approach problems and come up with solutions that are often original and unique that other people would not be able to come up with on their own. Research has linked, and I'll put all of my resources down below in the description, but research has linked ADHD to an increased ability for idea generation and creativity. So what this means is that kids with ADHD today are our future inventors and artists and creators and innovators. I want to give you a couple of examples of folks who likely had ADHD. And we can't go back in time and prove or give them psychological testing like we can today, like what I do, in order to determine if they actually had ADHD. All we can do is look at historical accounts and rumors and see the different symptoms and behaviors that are aligned with ADHD and who had that in the past. And there's lots of very famous people that have changed the world because they thought differently. Let me give you some examples like Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison. How can you come up with that many inventions and not give up if you don't have a different way of approaching the world? And I also want to make this point, and I've made it in other videos, but ADHD is not a lack of attention. It's a difficulty in being able to police that attention. So hyperfocus can become a part of it. And maybe I bring that up later as a superpower. But with these inventors and with these innovators, they have this ability to be able to approach problems and come up with ideas and solutions to them that nobody else thinks of. The third superpower that I want to get in today is rapid problem solving under pressure. Because kids with ADHD are able to think non-linearly and jump from one idea to the next, they're often able to come up with very quick solutions on the fly. Let me tell you, when the clock is ticking or when there's a time crunch, their ability to come to a decision, to act instinctively, can be a huge advantage. And I want to give you an example. And again, I know this isn't a kid, but it's from someone in my own personal life. I have a personal friend that has ADHD and fought for this country. He was a Green Beret, and he was very successful at what he did because he was able to think on his feet. He was able to act without having to think too much. He was able to act instinctively, and he protected this country because of his superpower, literally saving lives. So while impulsivity can sometimes be challenging, this ability allows them to not get bogged down in overthinking things. Sometimes you just need to be able to act without thinking. It's their ability to jump into action, think on the fly, figure things out as they go is a huge asset, especially in this fast-paced world that we live in nowadays. So here's my final thoughts on this. ADHD is not a flaw. It's a unique set of strengths that the world desperately needs right now. So if you're a parent or if you're a teacher of a child with ADHD, I encourage you to start thinking about how their high level of energy and enthusiasm or their creativity or their ability to think quickly is not just an asset, but a superpower of theirs, and how this is impacting not just them, but the others around them in a positive way. So guys, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned because I've got a part 2 where I'm going to be talking about 2 more superpowers that kids with ADHD have, along with a bonus one that you might not have thought about before.